UFC Vegas 114, Emmett Vallejos just took place, and I flubbed it, guys. I flubbed it. I messed everything up. My perfect pick rate was never going to happen in the first place, but I did awful tonight. I'm going to recap the card, go over my awful picks, and how I was close, yet so far away from a good card. Good card of picks. But first off, let's go Pierre Rodriguez versus Sam Hughes. Pierre Rodriguez just outstrikes Sam Hughes. No grappling really took place. Sam Hughes was shadow boxing. She really good shadow boxer. Sam Hughes is. She has to be careful where she shadow boxed though from now on, because she might accidentally hit somebody, and you wouldn't want that. Sam Hughes, high level shadow boxer. She just needs to be careful where she's shadow boxing. She almost hit Pereira Rodriguez in the face a couple times, so that was pretty crazy. That was pretty crazy. But now, I got this one wrong. I should have gone with Pereira Rodriguez. Woman MMA is hard though, because sometimes a rematch will be completely different, and then sometimes the rematch will be the exact same. And this was the exact same as the first fight. So Sam Hughes is awful. Pierre Rodriguez punched her in the head and won. Alright, so I'm already down. But then boom. Hector Sosa comes out and gets a decision over Luan Lacierda. Luan Lacierda tried to do his takedowns, couldn't really do anything with them. And Hector Sosa just kind of teed up on the guy. Through all 3 rounds, 30-27, across the board. He just kind of teed off on Luan Lacierda. He's good at submissions if you give him one, but Hector Sosa just doesn't give him a submission, so Luan Lacierda takes him down and does nothing for a whole round. And that's just kind of how this fight went. I didn't watch it. Didn't watch most of these, but this was, I'm guessing this is a fun fight. Up next, Bia Mesquita, Montes Redon. Mesquita gets the submission earlier than I thought. I thought it only took one takedown. I thought she'd kind of set things up and play it slow and then get one submission attempt too. 1-for-1, dude. She just beat the crap out of Montes Redon, is what I think happened. Bia Mesquita really good, showed levels, took her out easy. No problem at all. She's very small for a bantamweight, but you know what? It works out. Round 1 submission. I thought it'd be round 2, but that was kind of the thing. It was going to be a submission either way. Moving up. Brad Tavares, Eric Anders, my crafty Eric Anders pick. What can I say? My only really good pick of this whole entire card. My only good pick. Because I did awful, dude. I did awful. Brad Tavares, Eric Anders. It's a middleweight unranked fight. Eric Anders had a little bit more pop, landed a little bit better. He retired after this fight. So good on him. He rode off into the sunset, I guess, with the win over Brad Tavares. It was a fight. Vallejos, Manuel Sosa. Now, this is the first fight I watched. And I was close. Okay, I'm just going to say it. I'm close. Let me recap this. So I picked Vallejos to win by decision. Round 1, Manuel Sosa nukes out Vallejos with an overhand right and almost gets it. Vallejos somehow survives. And then he builds up, and then Manuel Sosa threatens a Kimura to try and stop Vallejos from building up. Vallejos uses that Kimura grip that Sosa had on him and threw him over his shoulder. Ended up on top, finished the round with some ground and pound from top position. Not enough to win round 1. Let's actually look at the stats. Yeah, not enough to win round 1. Actually, he had more total strikes and significant strikes. Did he have 2 knockdowns? I don't remember 2 knockdowns in round 1. Maybe he did. So the 2 knockdowns probably do get him round 1. I wasn't going to give him it anyways. I just want to look at the numbers. But yeah, Manuel Sosa wins round 1. I'm like, okay, this is not good. Vallejos falls off quick. And then round 2 happens, and he wins round 2. He just wins round 2. It doesn't show a knockdown, but he wobbled. Basically, Manuel Sosa starts swinging a little bit too crazy, and Vallejos does what I said he would, and counter strikes the crap out of him. A lot better on the counter. Hits him with like a check left hook or something, wobbles Sosa standing up, and Sosa's kind of wobbled, and Vallejos tees off, but he was very calm in this fight. A very different Vallejos than what we've seen, a little bit calmer, not as crazy and going out as wild. Maybe it's because he got dropped in round 1, so he couldn't go as crazy in round 1. But he looked decent, but then round 3 happened. And I want to say Vallejos got wobbled like 2 or 3 times. Knocked down twice. Oh. Was there 4 knockdowns? No, there was only 2. So I was saying there was 2 here and 2 here. Should be 4 then. I don't know what's happening. I think it's there was 1 knockdown in round 1, 1 knockdown in round 3. That's probably what it was. Because no one gave... Well, they didn't go to scorecards, so never mind. But round 3, they're both kind of trading back and forth. Vallejos started doing some stepping knees to the body, which was hurting Sosa, I will say. Sosa was not liking the stepping knees to the body, but Oki was gassed, and he was tired, and he was hurt. And every time he would throw in a stepping knee, each time Sosa would get closer and closer to clipping him. And I forgot what exactly got him, but some bomb over the right hit Vallejos, and I'm going to tell you he was on autopilot for it says the finish was at 4 minutes 12 seconds left, or 4 minutes 12 seconds into the round. I want to say it around the 3-minute mark, Vallejos got switched off and he was in autopilot. He was just kind of he was not there, dude. He was not there. So Sosa kind of tracks him down. It's like, is this guy still here? Is he not? He's kind of dangerous still, so I'm going to be careful. And then Sosa kind of he goes, he flicks him in the forehead, and Vallejos still. And then Sosa goes, hello? Slaps him a little bit. Vallejos. And when Sosa's like, okay, I'm just gonna... And knocks him out, dude. Stiff as a board. Grabs his lead hand, pulls it down, overhand right. Nasty KO for Manuel Souza. I got this one wrong. I tried to go big. I tried to go home. I almost got it right. With the crafty Vallejos decision, because I thought he'd learn his lesson, which he kind of did. But, Manuel Souza, great chin, great cardio. I mean, look at this in round 2. No, round 3, sorry. Yeah, round 3. 48 significant strikes landed. 92 strikes were thrown from Manuel Souza after getting wobbled in round 2 and having 21 significant strikes in round 1 and 66 in round 2. And he was throwing them like crazy. Good combos, good body work from Manuel Souza. Great fight. Really fun. I wish Vallejos won it, but you know what? For a great fight, I'll take a loss. Now moving up, Elijah Smith, Sung Yong Yu KO. Round 2, submission. I thought he'd get a late rounds KO, but you know what? Sung Yong Yu started off strong, grappling pretty heavily against Elijah Smith. Elijah Smith caught him with a knee. Opening 30 seconds, I say he catches Sung Yong Yu with a knee as Sung Yong Yu goes for a double leg. Knees him. Still somehow Sung Yong Yu is up. Crazy chin. Still up, and he kind of falls into another takedown. Sung Yong Yu's kind of riding out a takedown for the whole entire of round 1. Let's look at it. 4 takedowns in round 1. 1 reversal from Elijah Smith, not Vallejos. 1 knockdown. Should be in round 1. Is it saying it? Okay, the knockdown was in round 2. Yeah, it was, because he didn't knock him down with the knee. So yeah, just round 1 was, Elijah Smith hit that crazy knee, and Sung Yong Yu's just kind of holding him on, doing some grappling, trying to get him down. Not really getting anywhere with that grappling, just trying to hold him down, trying to get his head back into the game. And then round 2 starts. So round 1, you could give it to either, honestly. Elijah Smith had a really good knee, but it didn't wobble or drop him. And Sung Yong Yu had good control, had better, takedowns at strikes. Not as good many significant strikes, but there wasn't that many. Takedowns had a little bit more control time. I could see you giving round 1 to Sung Yong Yu. But round 2, Elijah Smith's corner tells him, hey, dude. Forget what they tell him. They tell him something. Elijah Smith gets it. He's trading with Sung Yong Yu. He gets clipped Sung Yong Yu back with a right hook. Drops Sung Yong Yu early in the round. He goes to follow up. Sung Yong Yu turns over, gives up his back, and Elijah Smith latches up the back. I thought he was going to fall over and end up on bottom like an idiot, but he actually made sure to get the body triangle first before fully committing to the rear naked choke. Rear naked choke tapped out Sung Yong Yu. Great stuff from Elijah Smith. He's really young in the game, 23 something. Great grappling, great striking, very calm headed. You can see some early prospects would fumble a finish like that. Elijah Smith stayed cool, stayed calm, got it done. Great win for him. Great win. I'm excited to see where he goes in the future. He's going to be a problem. He's a big bantamweight too. Big bantamweight. Or Sung Young Yu's just a small bantamweight. Maybe in between both. Peter Petrino, Stephen Asplund. I'm hearing some people call this a robbery. And I didn't think it was a robbery. I think Petrino won rounds 2 and 3, and if you really want to be crazy, you could honestly give him round 1, in my opinion. In my opinion, Peter Petrino, first off, let's go over the fight. Round 1. Peter Petrino's looking a little sharp, good jab. Sticking the jab to Stephen Asplund's pretty good, kind of exiting outside, doing some hooks to the body. Asplund feels no body hooks. I don't know why you do body work against Asplund. Do you see the blubber that protects Stephen Asplund's body? Why are we going for body shots, pal? But yeah, good body hooks, good combinations to the body, but Stephen Asplund stays in there, eventually counters something off of Petrino and has him chicken dancing around the place for round 1. That gives him round 1. You know, it's pretty even, 93 to 73. Oh, sorry. 19 to 32. He outstruck him too, but 19 to 20. And he knocked down Petrino. Did he? He did. He had Petrino in some trouble. He made him do the chicken dance, sink to some knees, and have Petrino shoot him for a takedown. But Petrino survived. Asplund wins round 1. Round 2, Petrino starts figuring out that he can low kick Asplund, and nothing's going to really happen. He can low kick Asplund with no repercussion, so he should start hammering that low kick on Asplund's lead leg, popping the jab, popping hooks. Asplund, he's kind of simple. He throws his one, he throws his check hook on the outside, kind of a really wide lead hook, and then throws a 1-2, and that's kind of it. You know, he throws some lead kicks, some teeps to the body too. He kept on. Petrino was complaining about like nut shots and eye pokes and stuff like that throughout the fight. I didn't really see anything too bad. But he was complaining about that stuff. But, you know, like I said, he's really simple. He's really simple. Now, if it's a guy who's also simple, he can out-simple them by doing it with volume and a little bit of power. He doesn't have the most power, though, because Peter Petrino, you know, he's got a decent chin, but he doesn't, I mean, he could have put him away in round 1 if he had, like, real power. But he just doesn't have the most power. That's why he's a volume kind of guy. For heavyweight, you know, if you're being a volume-based guy in heavyweight, which is good and bad because most heavyweights aren't used to volume, but then you don't have heavyweight knockout power, and they probably do. But Petrino was hitting it. Asplund's got a good chin on him, dude. Crazy chin on Asplund. He was taking some bombs, taking some check hooks, some hooks, just in general around the guard, wide hooks, solid jab from Petrino all night long. I will say, Asplund is being sabotaged by his scar tissue on his face. Underneath his right eye. Yeah, his right eye. No. Yeah, his right eye. This cuts open so easy. I feel like every fight I've seen him in, he's only had 2 UFC fights. I feel like even the regional fight I watched of him, he always has a cut open right here. And it swells up so much and it cuts so easily and it bleeds a lot. Like round 3, his face was bloodied up. Like his whole entire face was covered in blood. But round 2, like I said, Petrino starts throwing in leg kicks, starts throwing in quicker jabs, just moving on the foot, sticking to moving. His jabs really limited Asplund, so he couldn't chase him as much, so Asplund just stopped chasing him. Petrino could do like a jab too, leave, walk away, turn his, like, just walk to was I still in frame? I was, so you saw me like, how about like a, there we go, like that. But he's like this. Petrino likes that heavy sidewalk. That heavy sideways walk is Petrino's move. Petrino can just do that, and Asplund's not going to follow him. His leg's kind of chewed up. He's just going to sit there and wait in the middle and go, all right, dude, come on back. And because Asplund isn't the best at cornering people, he did start cornering Petrino in round 3, and I was scared. But he doesn't really corner you that well in round 2 and 3. I don't know what it was. He just wasn't cornering Petrino well enough where he could get his combos off. And like I said, he's very simple. So Petrino's just out jabbing him, out hooking him, stay on the outside, leg kicking when needed to. And he wins round 2 easily. Wobbles Asplund at a point, hitting hooks on him. Around the guard, Asplund crazy chin. And then round 3, same thing, a little bit better from Asplund. He has a little bit of moments. Some better front teeps to the body, start working a little bit more. Starts countering a little bit better, but not enough. Petrino takes it in the third, and he wins 29-28 over Asplund. Not a robbery. You could honestly give Petrino not all 3 rounds, and I'm thinking about it because he did get dropped in round 1. I forgot he got dropped. But, round 1 was close besides the drop. Moving up, Chris Curtis might take Orably. I thought this would be an easy submission, and from the looks of it, I was like, as soon as Petrino or Orably took Curtis to the ground, I was like, easy round 1 submission choice. This guy's a genius. I am. Also, Petrino awful takedown entries, or either that or Asplund just has crazy brick wall takedown defense now, which kind of helps when he's a blob. Because if you're kind of thin on, not thin on life, but Petrino's kind of a small heavyweight in terms of size. It's kind of like a shrunk down. He's like kind of like a 1.75 size middleweight or something like that, or a 0.75 times size of a middleweight. So it's kind of hard for him to just topple over Asplund like a Denzel Freeman could. But awful. He even got Asplund down at one point in round 2, I think. Round 2 or... Let's check real quick. No, he did get a takedown once. I don't know what this website sucks. This UFC official website sucks. He did take him down at one point, I'm pretty sure. Had Asplund's back or something, but Asplund got up pretty well. Maybe I'm just crazy. Maybe he didn't. I don't know. Anyways, had his back or something. I don't know. Anyways, Petrino was kind of not impressed with his grappling, but, he made up for it by, striking Asplund on the feet. I didn't think he'd be able to outstrike Asplund on the feet that well. Petrino's not the best striker, so I thought Asplund would have a field day if it was left on the feet. But Petrino did what he did and got the dub. Moving up, Chris Curtis might take Orably. Like I said, I thought Orably would have that submission done in round 1. Took him down easy. 19 takedowns, shot 24 throughout the whole entire fight. No significant strikes if you want to look at this. 16 significant strikes in round 1 because he likes to end the round with some ground and pound. 7 takedowns for 8. 2 significant strikes for round 2. Give it to Chris Curtis based on damage. And then 2 significant strikes in round 3. Give it to Chris Curtis based on significant damage. Chris Curtis wins rounds 2 and 3. No, I'm just joking. Orably dominated. Very boring up against the cage. I barely watched it. Let's just say Orably, just look at this stat right here and you know what happened. You know what happened. There's no control minutes, huh? There's no control time in minutes on this. Huh, that's weird. Anyways, Monte Orably wins, kind of lackluster. Chris Curtis is very good at surviving, I guess. But not even... Monte Orably didn't really give him anything to survive against besides, like, a couple rear naked choke attempts. Like, let's see, how many submission attempts did he have? 0. 0. Okay, apparently he had 0 submission attempts. Anyways, pretty awful fight. Moving up, Charles Johnson, Bruno Silva. Now, I took Bruno Silva thinking I was crafty. And was I wrong? I think Bruno Silva could have won this rounds 2 and 3. I'm not upset with Charles Johnson winning this. It was a very close fight. Bruno Silva takes damage on the face pretty easily, so that's why it's hard to kind of, his nose bloody, like his nose. I feel like every fight he gets in, his nose turns bright red. You land one jab on Bruno Silva, he turns into Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. He has a glow stick in his nose. You pop it open, it's bright red. It's glowing. And he takes damage on the face very easily, but round 1 is all Charles Johnson, and he's pretty good, doing very good work in the clinch. Bruno Silva couldn't get any takedowns. Charles Johnson shot some of his own takedowns. It was a stand-up fight. Round 2, same thing. It was kind of the same thing, just Bruno Silva backing Charles Johnson up against the fence. Charles Johnson's hitting some body kicks, low kicks, and whipping it up to a head kick every once in a while at range. And then when they were in boxing range, Bruno Silva would do like a 1-2. It kind of landed. Charles Johnson would lean out here to the right, and Bruno Silva never threw a lead head kick or like a rear head kick or hook to that side or anything to punish Charles Johnson for leaning all the way over here. But that's cool. That's cool. That's just my pick. Doing whatever he wants. But yeah, just clashing with each other. Silva may have nutshotted Charles Johnson and then may have scraped an eye at some point. Who knows? He may have not. Actually, no. Was he not shot at Charles Johnson twice? But who knows? Round 3, a little bit closer. Again, I can see giving Charles Johnson this one. I think Bruno Silva landed a little bit better, but Charles Johnson was working the clinch well, doing some good knees to the body in the clinch. But I can see you giving all rounds to Charles Johnson, but I think Bruno Silva landed a little bit better in round 2 and 3. But again, I'm not upset with this. This was a very close fight. Both, it was kind of an awful fight. Charles Johnson called out Brandon Royval. Hey, pal, you're 1-1 in your last 2. Let's maybe have you go up against an up and coming contender, because that's all you can beat besides like flukes. You fluked Bruno Silva, kid. Congratulations. But yeah, Charles Johnson wins 30-27. Well, it was 29-28 Silva, 29-28 Johnson, and then a 30-27 Johnson was the cards for the split decision. Anyways, moving up. Cutelaba Umar Sy. I would like to congratulate Umar Sy on the quickest tap out in history. Cutelaba, I think as soon as he latched his pinky fingers together, Umar Sy felt it and tapped. Basically what happened was Umar Sy on the back foot, Cutelaba, they're clinched up, Cutelaba throws him, Umar Sy reverses. He reverses it, tries to go for some ground and pound or something. Cutelaba then reverses his reversal, ends up on top, jumps the guillotine to end up on bottom. Umar Sy tries to flip over, and then Cutelaba ends up on top with an arm-in guillotine, and probably the quickest tap in the Wild West belongs to Umar Sy, because he was tapping instantly. As soon as he even felt a pressure on his neck, don't ever think about putting a scarf on Umar Sy. He may tap out. Don't ever put a tie, a scarf, a bow tie. If you put any of those near Umar Sy, he is tapping out instantly. Don't even think about it, pal. All right? He is terrified of getting tapped out. But Ion Cutelaba basically 4 minutes and 24 seconds in the round. Last couple seconds. Umar Sy, I'm not saying he could have lasted these last, let's say, 40 seconds. He maybe could have. It was a tight arm-in guillotine from top, but still, dude, you tap instantly? You tapped instantly? Again, I worry for this guy in colder weather because he cannot wear a scarf. He may tap out to a scarf instantly. I don't know. But good work from Ion Cutelaba. He looked very calm, composed. Good grappling work. I did not think he'd be able to submit Umar Sy. I had round 1 submission for Umar Sy. I really meant Ion Cutelaba for the round 1 submission. Come on, trust me. I thought Umar Sy would win the scrambles, but Ion Cutelaba, when he would go for throws, I think he went for 2 throws, and one of the throws, he had a beautiful hip, stayed up higher than Umar Sy, worked his way up, which is then when he went for the guillotine, pulled it off. Great work from him. Congratulations, Ion Cutelaba, dude. Championship material time. Moving up, Marwan Rahiki, Harry Hardwick. So I'm off, by the way. This is what? 1, 2, I'm on a 3-fight losing streak. 3-fight losing streak. This is awful. But Marwan Rahiki, Harry Hardwick, I'll get it wrong again, because this was a sick fight. Marwan Rahiki, Harry Hardwick. So first off, Rahiki leg kicks Hardwick instantly. Hardwick checks it and smiles right at him. Hardwick has maybe he wanted to break his jaw if he wasn't smiling so much in the cage, dude. He does one thing, like he sees Marwan Rahiki going for leg kicks and he's smiling, cheesing at him, going. It's like, dude, put those choppers away and get to throwing. I will say, Harry Hardwick, when he throws punches, he's very chest up, and he throws like he doesn't have a hand attached to his, like he throws with the wrist. He doesn't think, I don't think he knows he has a hand attached, so he kind of throws like this, and he's kind of like, saying shadow boxing by me. He throws very weird punches, And you can tell Martin Rahiki was not respecting anything. He did get wobbled a couple times in this fight by some counter shots from Hardwick, but that's just because I think he was throwing hard, gassing himself out. And then when you're gassed out and you get hit with the bomb, even from like a guy who's all wrist, who's punching you with all wrist, it's gonna hurt. Um, Round one, like I said, after that low kick check, it's kind of a back and forth. Rahiki goes for a front teep to the body. Hardwick catches it, throws it to the side. Or he like throws it somewhere, and Rahiki ends up showing his back to Hardwick. Hardwick latches that sucker up, and then gives up wrist control and gets thrown off by Rahiki. Great way dealing with a standing body triangle. Goes 2-on-1 off to the side, so Hardwick's like leaning off to the side, and he ends up falling off. Rahiki lets him up. They start striking, and I will say Hardwick has a chin on him, dude. Doesn't have a jaw on him. Because that broke in round two. But he does have a chin on him, dude. Got a chin on him. Took some shots. Respect to Harry Hardwick. Fun fight. I hope he gets another one. You know, he had a tough upper weight class short notice against Carlos Fernandez or whatever his name is. Like TKO'd. Sorry, I got texted something. And now he has to go against Marwan Rahiki, he has some not too much power though, unless either Marwan Rahiki has no power, or Harry Hardwick has a chin that marvels Vittori's, dude, because he was getting hooked, and when he gets hit, you would think as a grappler he would shoot in, but as a grappler he instead stands up taller and sticks his chin out more. But he's very good defensively. Like, I don't know how to describe it. He looks awful and great defensively when defending these flurries of attacks from Rahiki. So Rahiki's caught him up against the fence. He's swarming him. Hit him with a head kick at some point. Whipping up a lot of kicks. Pretty quick hands. But Harry Hardwick was trading back, doing some good counter shots, some good counter jabs. But again, just not too much power on him to make Rahiki kind of second guess himself. I also do think that Hardwick could have shot in round two at some point. I don't know. Maybe round three he was going to shoot and he'd unleash that beast on Rahiki. In round three, his grappling prowess in round three. But no. But he's really good at he sees shots coming a mile away. He's very, very good head movement for someone who stands up so straight. Good at ducking and weaving, especially when he's caught up with his back to the cage. Very good at rolling with shots and ducking out of the way of shots and kind of slightly getting missed by shots. And again, he'll let Rahiki swarm and bomb on him and throw heavy hooks, and then he'll just crack him back. Rahiki's kind of doing an Indian bobblehead dance and just walks away. Hardwick can't really capitalize on it. He doesn't have the power or combinations to. But after round one, which, let's see, round one, 44 to 44, 44 to 40, insignificant strikes. You can maybe give Hardwick round one, maybe. I think with the head kick wobble, you give it to Rahiki. But round two is where things get crazy. Hardwick gets wobbled by like a right overhand or something, and he's up against the cage, and he's a lot of clinch work. In round one, there was clinch work too. Round two, there was definitely a lot more clinch work, and Rahiki is nasty on the exit of the clinch. Nasty elbows on the exit. I was hoping Hardwick would start throwing some of his own, or throwing knees on the break or something on the exit of the clinch, because Rahiki, every single time they'd break from that clinch, elbow, bam, elbow right on Hardwick's chin, and Hardwick took him. His jaw durability did not take him, but his mental fortitude took him, and he still stood up somehow. I think off of the clinch, at some point, you gotta go for like an inside trip or something while you're in that clinch so many times, and he's throwing elbows on the break. Is my opinion. It was up against the cage clinch most of the times, but still. I think there was some more things he could have gone to. But anyways, a lot of clinching in round one. Round two, there's even more of that. And at some point, they exit out the clinch. You know, Hardwick's still kind of hurt from Rahiki's elbow or something on the break. And then he bombs an overhand right. And Hardwick again is. He's got a bit of a tism in him. You can tell. Very low very dense and muscular eyebrows that go over the eyes. Very strong eyebrow bones, I guess. um, but yeah, he then has a Rahiki then swarms up against him, throwing hooks left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Hardwick rolls with him back and forth. He gets hit by a couple, yeah, but he's still in there. He's blocking. His hands are so low, dude. Hardwick's hands are so low when he's getting swarmed up against the fence. He kind of just keeps him down here in his Muhammad Ali, dude. Mike Tyson, dude. But then he cracks Rahiki back. They end up on bottom for the rest of the round. And I'd say about 3 minutes into round two, maybe 2 minutes, you see Harry Hardwick go. And at that point, I say out loud to my family, oh, his jaw's broken. He broke his jaw. And he did. And it's unfortunate. They called it a TKO doctor stoppage. His corner called it off because Hardwick went in the corner and said, hey, my jaw's broken. I can't continue. And I respect him, dude. I feel like some people are going to make fun of him and stuff, but I feel like, you got to protect yourself at all costs. And sometimes protecting yourself means accepting defeat. And I respect him, and I think that was a sick fight that he put on. I think it deserves the fight of the night bonus. Shall we find out together who got the fight of the night bonus? Shall we do that together, like a together thing? Let's maybe find that out, shall we? Well, there we go. What are they live doing?
The victory will relate to.
Whoa! I hope I can show that. Let's see. Performance of the night, fight of the night. Yep. 100K to both. Sick fight. I'm glad he got it. They did in fact get it. Vallejos got performance of the night. Let's just spoil ourselves for a little bit. They posted a YouTube thumbnail or something. I don't know. Really, that's it. Huh. I guess that's it for now. That's a sick graphic right there. You see that? Sick graphic. But yeah, Harry Hardwick got fight of the night. So, he at least made it worth his while to go out like that. Again, calls it off at the end of round two. Sick fight. I think Hardwick does have some potential. I was seeing people saying like, dude, Hardwick's gonna get put on a shirt. Gonna get put on a shirt, dude. Harry rest in peace, Wick. I don't know. But he held his own, and I think a third round could have gone his way. I think you give him maybe round two. I don't know. No, the only round you can give him is round one. Yeah, that's the only round you can give Hardwick. And even then, you probably can't give it to Hardwick. So it was 0. He was down 2 going in the third, but I think he could have latched something up with some grappling. Maybe reveals that in the third, like I said. But fun stuff. Great fight. Probably the best fight of the card, which is why I got fight of the night. I'm an idiot. But he got 100K for his efforts. Probably got like 30K to show up too. So coming home with a decent 130K paycheck, not too bad. Hopefully they gave him one more chance to really shine against someone who's a little bit more approachable for Hardwick. But hopefully he also heals up quick from that jaw. He broke his jaw early. Luckily, after that onslaught that broke his jaw, it was kind of mainly grappling stuff and nothing too heavy on the face from Rahiki. But great stuff from Rahiki. Great stuff from Rahiki and Hardwick. Both fought like warriors. Great stuff. Moving up, feature fight. Jose Delgado, Andre Fili. Jose Delgado almost got fraud checked, dude. Andre Fili almost pulled it off. Jose Delgado, I think in round 3 is where he figured out, hey, Andre Fili's kind of weak to the body. He hit him with like a good body kick, and you could tell Andre Fili like butt scooted out of there. That's how bad it was. It like sent his butt flying back. How bad that body shot was. But Andre Fili, Miguel, Jose Delgado. Round 1, it's kind of both. They're both kind of blitzing into each other. And at some point, Andre Fili counter check hooks, or right hooks him, Jose Delgado on the blitz in, and he falls to his knees, has to get a takedown. Decent grappling from both. Delgado wasn't getting out grappled by Andre Fili per se, but Andre Fili was definitely out scrambling him, staying on top, being a little bit quicker, being more explosive when he needed to be. A lot of moments where you're like, all right, Jose Delgado's in full guard, he's good. Andre Philly's just kind of laying there, getting his breath back, and then he'll explode up and end up reversing from bottom somehow, and then be on top of Jose Delgado with like a minute left or something. I don't know, but it was a good fight. He won round one. Round two is where Delgado started using his range a little bit more, started using jabs and low kicks a little bit better. Here's the reversal I was talking about. But he was just laying a little bit better on Andre Philly. The 1-2 down the pipe was really what kind of started pulling him away. But Andre Philly's, Danny Game must hit different, dude, because Andre Philly was never really rocked to the head. Never really rocked, never really in too much trouble. And I feel like Jose Delgado was getting some good shots on Andre Philly, but he stayed in there. Respect to him. I think Andre Philly's a cool guy. Then round three, he gets a couple takedowns, but Jose Delgado stays on him, keeps the jab going, keeps the 1-2s going, keeps the leg kicks going, and wins a split decision over Andre Philly. How good is Nathaniel Wood, and how bad is Nathaniel Wood at the same time? He beat Andre Philly unanimous decision, got a unanimous decision over Jose Delgado, but it was kind of a robbery. And how bad is Hyder Emil? How bad is Hyder Emil is all I have to say out of all this. Anyways, pretty fun fight. I got this one right finally. It's fun to get one right after 4 fights wrong in a row right now. 1, 2, only 3 fights wrong. I finally get this one right. All right, and then Gillian Robertson, Amanda Lemos. You know what? My Amanda Lemos crafty underdog almost worked. It almost worked. I didn't pick her because I decided to be smart and go Gillian Robertson, but Amanda Lemos could have gotten that done had she stuffed the takedowns in the third a little bit better. But very good at scrambling, staying on top, being hard to get down. But I think it's just being 38 years old. It catches up to her. Rounds 2 and 3, she wasn't as lively, wasn't as scrambly, wasn't as quick. And Gillian Robertson just, kind of out-grapples her. Not too much to say for this fight, not too much to say. Gillian Robertson out-grapples Amanda Lemos. Amanda Lemos gives some resistance on the feet. Gillian Robertson is awful on the feet. It looks like when your controller dies mid-match and, it, still has that last input of the movement. So she's just kind of walking around doing nothing in UFC 5, and she's just walking around the cage like this in idle animation. 30 seconds left in the round, and she's in idle animationing in front of Amanda Lemos, getting teed off, and she's just kind of sitting there going, the round's almost over. I can take this off. Take a couple more shots off Amanda Lemos. The round's almost over. I'll be fine. And, Amanda Lemos showed some promise. She has a win over the great Mackenzie Dern. But, she couldn't get it done. Gillian Robertson wins. Unanimous decision, 29-28. Rounds 2 and 3. I thought she'd get a finish. But Amanda Lemos is hard to finish unless you're Verna Jandiroba or Wei Lee. Or did Wei Lee get a decision over her? I forgot. But I don't know, Gillian Robertson's really good at grappling, and maybe Amanda Lemos just has really good submission defense, and Verna Jandiroba's just on the next level. I think Gillian Robertson does lose to Verna Jandiroba, probably. But she called for a title shot. I don't care. I think Wei Lee deserves it more. If she's coming back to strawweight, which I think she is. I think Wei Lee's coming back down. But again, I don't care. I don't care. So do whatever you want for strawweight. I won't be watching. I will, but not really. I was zoned out. And now the main event. Kevin Vallejos, Josh Emmett. 43 total strikes to 3. 36 significant strikes to 3 with 2 knockdowns from the Kevin Vallejos. Insane work from Kevin Vallejos. I thought he'd take round 1 off to kind of analyze and see what Josh Emmett's working with, but no. Josh Emmett comes out there, new stance, switches it up, very loud on his feet, kind of doing the Dillashaw shuffle back and forth, just kind of looking at Vallejos menacingly, just kind of mean-mugging him. Just going... And then he'd throw a jab or something, throw hooks. Vallejos, he stays calm. He stays calm. You can see it on his face. He's calm in there. When bombs are getting thrown, he's still calm and he's still there. And he's just very accurate. Is what I figured out. He's very accurate with his punches. Kind of scarily so, dude. But he's trading shots with Emmett. Emmett like ducks in to, I guess, throw a jab or something. Vallejos hits him right on the top of the bald head. Bing! Bounces off. Ricochets off his bald head and sends Emmett flying. Gets flung backwards in the cage, makes a divot in the ground of the cage. Is Josh Emmett kind of like on his back like a turtle, just kind of saying, gotta get off. Vallejos swarms. Basically, that's how it was. Like the very first real exchange they did. Vallejos flicks him on the forehead, sends him flying. Does some ground and pound. Emmett works his way back up. They separate. Emmett throws a giant overhand left, falls on his face because he's like, "Well, all right, dude. Kevin Vallejos won't see this coming overhand." And then he's not there, and he just falls on his face, and he's like, "All right, let me build back up." And then Vallejos is there, uppercuts, knees to the head. Emmett's like covered up against the cage like this, knee to the head, knee to the head, knee to the head, body shot, body shot, body shot, and Vallejos is kind of in a weird position where he's kind of like he has to snake his arm between Emmett's body and arms, and bam, two shovel uppercuts right on Josh Emmett's forehead, sends him crumbling. Herb Dean stops it. Great win for Kevin Vallejos. Only took him like 2 minutes. Elliot Taporia couldn't do that. So all I gotta say. More impressive than Elliot Taporia is this guy. This guy had a more impressive performance than Elliot Taporia, dude. Wow. But yeah, great work for Kevin Vallejos. Let's actually find a you guys want to find a good opponent for him, real quick, just while we're here. Bantamweight. So Kevin Vallejos, dumb, he's featherweight. Kevin Vallejos is 14. Emmett was 11, so he'll probably be 10 or 9. Man, not a lot of people for him to work with. Maybe you do like the winner of Pitbull Pico, which will probably be Pitbull. Could be pretty good. Do the loser of Garcia. But if you do Garcia Lopez and Lopez wins, which I think he will, Garcia's going to be way down in it. Vallejos will be out for a while. Actually, not for a while, but he took no damage. If he wants to get right back in there, dude, Vallejos, Yair Rodriguez. Am I hearing that correctly? Who else is Yair Rodriguez going to take? Nobody. He didn't take Sterling. Let's just cross it. So we go boom, boom, boom. 1, 2, and 3 are booked up. 5, 6, 7, 8. The top 8 are all booked up besides Yair Rodriguez. And Steve Garcia, so 9. And Brian Ortega. I don't know why Brian Ortega is still here. Polar Bear in Austin, Texas. I don't know why Brian Ortega is number 10. I thought he was going to lightweight or something. Maybe you could do Emmett Ortega and not Emmett Ortega. Vallejos Ortega, and you just have Vallejos just tee off on Ortega and make fun of him and beat him up. Could be fun. And then boom, and then boom. And David Onama's somehow 15, so it's basically Kevin Vallejos, Yair Rodriguez is confirmed. Gene Silva's also unranked, or doesn't have a matchup. But it sounds like apparently Movsar Evloev is having visa problems for the Lerone Murphy fight. And if they can't have Movsar Evloev make the Lerone Murphy, which is next week, UFC Fight Night London, if he can't make it, then they'll just give Gene Silva the shot. And then I guess you do Evloev Vallejos. Please don't do Evloev Vallejos, dude. Please, Movsar, just make it. Actually, no. Yeah, you'd have to do Evloev Vallejos. Yeah, hey, Movsar, do whatever you need. Get that thing. We need Vallejos, Gene Silva too. All right, we need Gene Silva Vallejos too. It's either Gene Silva Vallejos too, or Gene Silva Yair Rodriguez. Unless we're giving Gene Silva Yair Rodriguez, in which case it'd have to be Brian Ortega is the closest next one. But Vallejos should be above Ortega. So I don't know. Tough matchups for him to get. Not tough, but it's like it's a weird place to be where he is right now. Because I'd imagine he wants to be active. He took 0 damage, dude. I'd want to get right back in there, dude. I'm coming off a KO over Emmett. I'd say, all right, dude, give me someone else. And maybe if he's lucky, they'll give him kind of like a guy below him that just won. And then he can do that and kind of get another win to build up. Because he is young, 23, 18-1 now. He's what, 3-0 in the UFC? 3-0, 4-0? I think he's 3-0. Knocked out that Asian kid. Decision Danny Silva. Knocked out Giga Chikadze. Now knocked out Emmett. So he's 4-0 in the UFC with 3 finishes. Crazy stuff. But yeah, that's my recap for UFC Vegas 114 and Emmett Vallejos. Pretty good fight night card. I went like 7-5. Pretty good day for me. Never choose Hardwick, even though he could have won that. Never choose Umar Sy. He taps at anything. Never choose Bruno Silva because he'll get robbed. Not really, but I'll say robbery, so it makes me feel better that I picked him. Never choose Vallejos. Robbery too. Robbery. Vallejos was doing the. He was about to get resurrected and win that 3rd round, but it's fine. But yeah, I should be live for UFC London, actually. Not, I thought UFC Seattle was next week. It's actually UFC London is next week, Dim Beam. I'll be in your country. Not really. I'll be live streaming. I'm not sure the times on it. I may be late. I know the main card starts at 4, which is when I get off of work. So we'll have to see how things go. I'll at least stream the main card next week. But don't be funny. Make some money. Buy the numbers. Peace out. Like, comment, subscribe. All that fun stuff. Hopefully I'll make a video in the week that's not just, that's like a cool content video. If you have any content ideas, you have any videos you want me to make about UFC or MMA, I can make them. I'm kind of drawing blanks, I did all my best stuff back in my prime. Like what happened to Dominic Grappling and stuff like that. I may have to resort to tier lists so I can start pumping out some more content and grow this channel. I don't know. Let me know what you think. But yeah, again, one last time, don't be funny. Make some money. Buy the numbers. Also, let me know how this new audio. I turned my audio up, so let me know if that's good. See ya.